Let me sleep for a while, because my mind and my soul feel much better and free. Deep inside my dream, don't wake me up. Let me sleep for a while. Let me dream of your smile. Let me kill my enemies.
Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, alien in my head. Brain enemies, all the bad things I've done and can't forget. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, but alien in my head. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies. Deserting memories, I can find them all around. Your picture in a shoebox, face to face to mine. What I'll find today, what won't let me sleep tonight. I'm trying to forget, but you are still on my mind. Yeah. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, alien in my head. Brain enemies, all the bad things I've done and can't forget. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, but alien in my head. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies.
Sometimes we all make mistakes, and the meaning of life is unique and bitter, lovely and crazy, and it's something you never know. Somewhere in my dreams, I'm much better and stronger, and I don't want to open my eyes, but I still believe one day I'll wake up and face it, and all these enemies will disappear. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, alien in my head. Brain enemies, all the bad things I've done and can't forget. Brain enemies, brain enemies, brain enemies, but alien in my head.